Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. My name is Gerel Matta. Today we're going to be using the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. This is a new release. We're going to be using this palette to create a look. This is my first time that I'm going to be applying them on my eyes, really. So she released this a couple of weeks ago. I was actually on a cruise while she released this. I did take a quick look while on the cruise to know exactly what she was releasing because I was really excited. This is a limited edition eyeshadow palette. Just in case you are interested in this palette and you want to know my thoughts, I am going to be using this palette right now, of course. But if you want me to use this like to create other looks, please let me know in the comment section down below. You can also go into my Instagram. I'm gonna try to use this palette like off camera just because I get a little bit like less stress and more inspiration sometimes, just because I have a little bit of time and there's no distraction of me talking or anything like that. But yeah, so you can definitely follow me on my Instagram, which is Gerel Matta, just Gerel_Matta. All of my links for my social medias are down in the description area just in case you're interested. So let's go ahead and get into playing because I'm so excited. But before we do, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. You can also click on the little bell so you can get notified whenever I upload a new video, which is every single week. And without further ado, let's get on to the video. Alright guys, so we're going to start with the look, but before we do, I just wanted to show you really quickly the latest eyeshadow palettes that I bought. I'm not going to show you all of them because there are so many reviews and so many comparisons already with the other eyeshadow palettes. And to tell you the truth, at the end of the day, if you are comparing like all of her palettes to just this one palette, there's going to be probably shades that are going to overlap or they're going to be dupes, but they're not within the same palette. So if you are a fan of Natasha Denona like I am, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me if there's other shades in her other palettes. I mean, unless it's like identical to another palette, to one specific palette, then I'm not going to get it. But if it's like from shades from this palette into another palette and going into, you know, the lila palette and gold palette, if it's like that, then I am going to be interested because everything is like compacted in one eyeshadow palette. So with that being said, this is the latest eyeshadow palette that I purchased from Natasha Denona. This one and the Coral palette. So this is the Coral palette and this one is the Sunrise palette. As you can see already, like these two eyeshadow palettes already overlap some of the shades from the Sunrise palette. So of course this is just a personal decision for you to see if you are interested in this palette or not. So the Metropolis palette is a limited edition palette, and those words limited edition does something in my brain like you have to get it, hurry up and get it, especially from brands that I love so much. So this one is the Viva palette, and now I'm going to show you the Metropolis palette because I haven't shown you the Metropolis palette at all. So these are all the shades. So as you can see from all of the eyeshadow palettes that I've shown you, there are shades that you might get, especially if you have the Safari palette and there's a lot of green matte shades in that palette. If you have the gold palette, there's going to be lots of golds, so maybe you can dupe with that. And there is, like I said, tons of videos that are comparing these shades to her other palettes, but I will not do that because when I saw this palette, yes, I do see all of these shades from all of my different palettes, not just Natasha Denona, but I still was interested in it. So if you are here because you want to see looks using this palette, because you are definitely going to get it, or if you want my opinion to see how is the quality, how does it blend, you know, was it easy to work, is it beginning friendly and all of that, then you are in the right place. But if you are here for comparison, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to give you that. Alright guys, so now for the fun part, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be using this eyeshadow base, and this one is the P. Louise. You can use whatever base you like, but this one is the one that I tend to use and I really like it. So this one is in number 2. It does come with a mirror that I'm going to be using. I love it. Alright, so I am going to be using the mirror, which is a pretty nice mirror. It's not blurry or anything like that. So this palette, it's pretty pricey. It's $129. I live in the United States, so it is $129. I know in different countries the price is going to be a little bit different, but in the States it's $129, and it does come with 28 shades. I'm going to bring the primer all the way up to my brow bone. So I already did my brows, as you can see, so I'm just trying to clean them up. You already know the primer, just in case you don't know, the primer is to make all of the eyeshadows stand out a little bit more, and also to give you a really nice blank canvas so you can create whatever you need to create and to cover all the little veins or any discoloration that you might have on your eyelids. All right, using the Sigma E38, I'm going to take this shade right here. We're going to make this our transition shade. And I'm going to be creating a cat eye with it. I'm going to be focusing on the darker shades from this palette just because I want to see how they perform. Usually, like, the darker shades are a little bit more difficult to make, so that's my experience with other palettes. So I always like to start with those. So make sure that you're blending this pretty high up. And just in case you don't know, I do have a code with Sigma. It is Gerel. So keep this brush nearby because you are going to want to use it again. All right, now using the E42 by Sigma, I am going to take the darker shade, which is this one right here. I'm going to start packing this shade and just creating that shape that I want. Really bringing it up. So just continue on building this color up until you are satisfied with the shade. Alright, so I'm just going to start patting that green right on top of the edge of that blue that we have placed, and just working it little by little and blending it towards the inner corner. They are super pigmented and very little fallout, as you can see, which is pretty cool. Like, you don't see that. These are so nice. So I'm just adding a little bit more of that darker blue just in case we lost some. And this one is a little bit more sharper than this one. This one I'm gonna have to clean up, but of course this one too, just to make it a little bit more sharp. But I do that towards the end. I don't use tape. I actually like to do it with a wipe. These colors are stunning. All right, so now using a different brush, I'm going to take this lighter green right here. We're going to start putting that one right on top of this green and start bringing it towards the inner corner. And once again, it's just patting and a little swipe and using that green and just adding it towards the end of this one right here, just so those can just blend together. Little circles, patting, and little circles. And just relax your eyes so you know exactly where you're putting them. Because if you go like that, sometimes it's kind of weird, but if you relax your eyes, just look down, don't close them, it's gonna be a little bit better. Alright guys, so just continue on bringing it in and just leave a little bit of the inner corner open. And start blending the edges with the same colors. Just a little bit so it's not so harsh. Little tiny circles just so that harsh line can disappear and everything is nice and blended. Just grab it on the very tip of it. For the inner corner, I'm going to grab this shade, which is a duochrome. So focusing the most pigment on the very inner corner and then just working it up a little bit and in to make sure that everything blends nicely together. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do is just clean up and put on my foundation, all my face stuff, and also add mascara and lashes, and I'll be right back so we can finish the lower lashes together. Alright guys, so what we're going to do is do the same thing on the lower lashes, but I'm not going to bring it down so much, I hope. So the first thing that I'm going to do is use this little pencil by Makeup Forever. It's just a blue liner, so any blue liner will do. So we're going to repeat pretty much everything that we did on the lid. We're going to repeat it on the lower lash. So just with a very tiny brush. This one is the Sigma E21 brush. I'm going to start with the darker blue and I'm just going to try to connect it. And if you have brown eyes, this is definitely going to make them pop so much. Like right now, like my eyes are like, the caramel part of it is like popping. So now I'm going in with the darker green, same brush. I'm just cleaning it in the back of my hand, as you can see. So right on top of it. And just meshing those two together. Alright, same thing, I'm just going to clean it. We're going to go with the brighter green. Just patting this one and then blending it with the rest of the shade. And let me tell you, I love this green. Like, this green is everything right now. It's not so dark, it's not so bright, it's just perfect. So perfect for fall. I love it. Alright, now using the same pencil brush, just intensifying that inner corner one more time. Woo! Good. Alright guys, so finishing up with my mascara from MAC. This one is my favorite. Alright guys, so I'm gonna finish up with the lips, and I'm using the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Up and Down Tan. That is one of my favorite lip liners. Alright, so I'm going to use this one. This one is Colada from Tarte. This is like one of my favorite lipsticks. It is just so perfect. And it is a kind of pinky nude, so really close to the lip liner that we use. I wanted to use one of the Natasha Denona's lipsticks, but the ones that I picked up more like a brownie, neutral, beigey nudes, not so much on the pinky nude. So I'm gonna have to get one because sometimes I need a little spray. And this is the limited edition Smashbox Primer Water, but any kind of setting spray will do. Sponge. just melt everything into place. All right guys, so this is the final look. So right now this is how the eyeshadow palette looks like. As you can see, it is not a lot of fallout or not a lot of mess. For me, the only one that really gave me a lot of fallout right away that I noticed was the inner corner, which is this duochrome shade. So that's the only thing. When I went to do my base, I can see the glitter and the just the little particles all over my face. So that is the one that I noticed right away that it gave me fallout. But comparing it to the other ones, like the darker shade, I'm really impressed how the darker shades just went on so beautiful and they blended together so easily. Like there's no patchiness or anything. So this shade reminded me of another shade from the Safari one. I think it was Rhino that gave me such a hard time. It's very similar to that shade, but I remember that I had to pack it just so like there was no holes or anything like that, and it was just such a hard shade to work from, and that was from the Safari palette. But this one's right here, there is no patchiness. It's more like a creamy kind of matte shade, not so much on the like super matte like the Safari ones are. So the texture is a little bit different, and I really truly appreciated this formula so much more, especially with the darker shades. They just blended so beautiful. It was very creamy and nice and easy to work with. So this is, like I said, the final look. I hope that you enjoyed it and it gives you inspiration so you can create more looks. I want to do another look with this eyeshadow palette, but you guys let me know what you want to see. If you guys want me to do another look using this eyeshadow palette, I also want to do a look using the new Dominique palette. I do have that one, so if you're interested in seeing that one as well, let me know in the comment section down below. I also wanted to do more like talkative videos, just you know, like little tags, something different, but let me know in the comment section down below what you want to watch. Okay, so yeah, that's it guys. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you next time.